Welcome, my wonderful Stoics. Today, we're going to embark on a dramatic and brilliant journey. No, not to learn how to become an all-powerful sage, but to deal with the kind of people you can't avoid. The bad guys. You know, the kind of people who always show up when you least want them and where you want to avoid them the most. Oh, you think you haven't met them yet? Well, wait and see. There are times in life when you feel like you're being sucked into a whirlwind of chaos. Not because life is too busy, but because someone in your life has turned it into a bad drama. They could be your coworkers, someone you thought was your best friend, or worse, your own family members. Yes, you heard that right. Sometimes the bad guys are closer than you think, with their big smiles and their charm that makes you almost forget they're the source of all your troubles. But don't worry. We're here to unravel these people and help you become a professional signal spotter. Yes, I'm not going to let you just sit there and passively endure the bad guys. It's time to stand up, draw the line, and trust me, you'll stop feeling like a victim. Picture this. You're enjoying your morning coffee and someone, the bad guy in the story, comes in with a series of complaints and criticisms, bringing your mood down from good day to bad day. Or even worse, they do everything they can to make you think that everything that happens in your life is your fault. Sound familiar? That's one of the first signs, the signs of a toxic person who's out to destroy all your sense of peace. And don't think they'll let you off easy. No, these people can be masters of deception, making you feel like they only want your best, when in fact, they're practicing to make things difficult for you every day. But don't worry, we'll get through this together. And I guarantee that you'll not only recognize the signs of toxicity, but also know how to handle them like a true Stoic, calmly and tactfully. So now buckle up and prepare for an unexpected journey where we'll explore the 5 most obvious signs that you're dealing with a toxic person. Stay tuned for the next part, where I'll share with you a top-notch strategy for protecting your peace. You'll want to listen closely for that. Because we don't just want to survive this chaos, we want to navigate it with the wisdom and serenity of a true Stoic. Now, my wonderful Stoics who are embarking on a journey to survive this challenging universe. Life is meant to be loved, it's meant to be learned, but every now and then, the universe throws us some tough lessons to see if we're wise enough to learn them. And one of the big ones is, appearances can be deceiving. Yes, we're not just talking about sweet talk and flashy appearances. We're talking about people who light up a room when they walk in, who make you feel like the most special person in the world, until they turn things around in their favor. And before we get into the details, I want you to stop and think. What habits are you carrying around that could be causing you harm? Be really honest with yourself. If you notice something, don't worry. All change starts with awareness. That's why I'm here, to help you see these habits and overcome them by applying the Stoic principles to your life. Don't forget to subscribe if you found this topic helpful. We're going to dive into the nitty-gritty together, and trust me, you won't want to miss a thing. The insights you're about to gain can change the way you see yourself and the way others see you. Now, let's get started. In fact, in our daily lives, we always communicate and connect with people around us, from work to social relationships. We tend to care about what's happening to others, the stories and news around them. But from there, a dangerous habit is easily formed, which is gossip. At first glance, gossip can bring a sense of closeness. That's when you're telling an interesting story, adding a little detail, and suddenly you feel like you're the center. But behind that temporary connection is a very expensive price. That fleeting feeling disappears, but the consequences remain with you. Imagine, every time you talk about someone when they're not around, the people around you start to wonder, are you talking about me when I'm not here? At that moment, you don't realize it, but an invisible distance has appeared. Your reputation begins to falter, and instead of feeling safe sharing, people begin to withhold important things. We've all thought that gossiping helps us fit in, helps us break the ice in conversations. But the truth is that it doesn't build relationships, it just pushes others away. Gossip is a trap. Once you fall into it, everything around you becomes superficial, fake. Instead of depth, you only have fragile relationships. Stoicism offers a simple but profound lesson. Focus on what you can control. Other people's lives, their actions are not in your hands. When you gossip, you are wasting time and energy on things you can't change. Meanwhile, you, the only person you really control, are left out. Ask yourself, do you want to build relationships based on trust or on distrust? Every time you choose not to gossip, you build bridges of trust instead of walls. People will respect you more because they know that you respect them even when they are not around. This is how you build a lasting reputation. Giving up gossip is not only a way to free yourself from frivolous conversations, but also a way to increase your personal value. Keep quiet when you need to, and focus on what you can actually control: your own life. Respect and trust will come when you live by the Stoic principle of not worrying about things that are out of your control. Don't let meaningless conversations overshadow your true value. Choose the noble path. Give up gossip, and instead, spend time making your life better every day. When you live by this value, you not only find peace of mind, but also build deep, lasting relationships. 2. Passive-aggressive. Instead of expressing clearly, many people choose to express themselves passively, such as ignoring, being sarcastic, or showing an indirect attitude. This is passive-aggressive, one of the habits that makes the relationship between you and others more complicated without you even realizing it. Passive-aggressive is not a direct action. It is when you feel annoyed with someone, but do not dare to say it directly. Instead, you send subtle signals, hoping that the other person will understand what is going on. However, most of the time, they do not realize it. This leads to simmering tension and makes both parties feel uncomfortable. When you avoid conflict and try to express yourself through unclear signals, you are creating an environment of misunderstanding. The problem is that no one can read your mind. If you don't speak clearly, how will others know what's bothering you? Passive expressions, whether through your eyes, your tone of voice, or your actions, only add to the confusion. Others won't understand what you're thinking, and you'll be more frustrated because they can't read what you're trying to convey. It's like trying to send smoke signals in a storm. No one will notice, and it only makes things worse. Instead of hiding in that ambiguity, Stoicism advises us to be direct and honest in our communication. Marcus Aurelius once said that we must express the truth clearly without hiding behind unspoken feelings. When you choose honesty, you free yourself from anxiety and unnecessary conflict. It's a way to be in harmony and true to yourself and others. Remember, passive-aggressiveness is not a smart way to avoid conflict. It's just another way to avoid responsibility and create more stress. Instead of playing the guessing game, face the issue. Say what you think, gently and honestly. It may be difficult at first, but trust me, being direct will help you avoid a lot of misunderstandings and build stronger relationships. When you are clear about your feelings, you will find that others respect you more. They know that when you say something, it means what you really feel. You no longer have to pretend everything is okay, and you no longer have to send confusing signals. Communication becomes simpler, easier, and people will feel more secure around you. So the next time you feel like quietly expressing your frustration, remember that being direct and clear will help you resolve the issue much more quickly and effectively. Stoicism teaches us that being authentic not only makes you feel lighter, but also creates a healthier environment for communication. Habit 3. Blame. Our first reaction is often to find something or someone to blame. Interesting, right? We're great at making up excuses that sound plausible. Time is tight, no one's helping, or the technology isn't working. But stop for a moment. Blaming doesn't make the problem go away. It just covers up what you really need to face. Let's be honest. Blaming is not only about avoiding responsibility, it's also about denying yourself the opportunity to grow. You're limiting yourself. Every time you find someone else to take the blame, you're missing out on a valuable opportunity to learn and become better. Yes, blaming may feel good for a moment, but it doesn't help you improve. Think about it. If everything was always someone else's fault, you'd never have to change or do anything different. Sounds easy, right? But it's actually the opposite. you're locking yourself into a vicious cycle of mediocrity. Because if you don't take responsibility, how can you take control of your life? Every time you blame, you're giving control of your life to someone else. Stoicism makes this clear. The only thing you can control is yourself, from how you act to how you react to everything that happens around you. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it." When you refuse to blame and instead accept responsibility, you take control, you own your future. I know, it's not easy. No one likes to admit when they're wrong or when they're not doing well. But look at it from another angle. When you take responsibility, you also take control of your opportunity to improve. You're no longer a victim of circumstances. You're the one who decides what happens next. So next time you find yourself about to blame something, whether it's your job, the time, or someone else, stop. Think, what else could I have done? You'll be surprised to find that taking responsibility not only helps you grow, but also builds respect from those around you. Because everyone knows, trustworthy people are not always right, but they are the ones who admit their mistakes and correct them. That habit 4 is personal hygiene. Sounds simple and obvious, right? But strangely enough, sometimes the simplest things are overlooked. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a conversation, but all the other person notices is your unpleasant smell or your unkempt appearance. It may sound funny, but poor personal hygiene can actually cost you points without you even realizing it. Interestingly, taking care of your personal hygiene is not just about looking clean or smelling good. It's also a message you send to the world. I respect myself, and I respect those around me. Think about it. If you don't take the time to take care of yourself, who will respect you? You don't have to dress up, but make sure you shower, wash your hair, and wear clean clothes. Let's be honest. People won't say it to your face, but they will notice. And trust me, a bad smell or a wrinkled outfit will quickly ruin any good impression you're trying to make. Stoicism teaches us that self-respect starts with the little things. Marcus Aurelius talked about the importance of taking care of your body as part of personal discipline. You see, hygiene is not a luxury. It's the foundation for appearing confident and showing that you value yourself. When you respect your body, others will respect you more. And it's not just about the way you smell or dress, it's about how you present yourself to the world. A confident, well-groomed person will always create sympathy and attract respect from those around you. So, if you feel like not showering or brushing your teeth because you are too lazy this morning, think again. You are not only doing it for others, but also for yourself. Remember, Stoicism does not teach us to avoid the basics. It teaches us to do the smallest things well. So if you have skipped a few steps in your hygiene routine, take that as a sign to step back and reset. Start with the simplest things, showering, changing into clean clothes. Just like that, you will find yourself more confident and ready to face anything today. Just try it. When you take care of yourself from the inside out, the whole world will look at you with different eyes. Complaining, also a habit. Yes, it may seem harmless at first, but it actually has the power to destroy your spirit and the relationships around you more than you think. Imagine you are sitting with a group of friends. Everyone is comfortable, and suddenly you start talking about how hot the weather is, how bad the coffee is, how boring work is. And before you know it, the whole atmosphere has changed. Yes, your complaints are not only dragging you down, but also dragging everyone else down with them. Why do we complain so much? Probably because it's easy. It's easy to talk about everything that's wrong. But let's be honest, complaining doesn't solve anything. It only amplifies the problem and makes you feel worse. Every time you complain, you're locking yourself into a negative loop where all you see is what's wrong. Stoicism teaches us that it's not what happens that determines how you feel, but how you react to it. When you focus on the negative, you're missing out on all the positive things happening around you. Epictetus said, "We suffer not because of events, but because of our judgments about them." Every time you choose to complain, you're making a negative judgment about the situation, instead of finding a solution, or, more simply, accepting what can't be changed. Complaining isn't strength, it's surrender. You are telling the world that you have no control over the situation, that you are not up to the challenge. But the truth is, you can control your reaction. Instead of complaining, think about what you can do to make the situation better. Or if you can't, learn to let go. You will be surprised to find that when you stop complaining, people around you will be much more pleasant to be around. You will become someone who others want to be around because you are spreading positivity instead of negativity. And interestingly, you will feel lighter yourself when you stop attaching yourself to things you cannot change. So the next time you feel like complaining about something, whether it is as small as a bad cup of coffee or as big as a bad day, stop for a moment. Ask yourself, does complaining change anything? If not, try to find something positive to do instead. Think about what you are grateful for in your life. You will find that life, while not perfect, is not as bad as you think. 6. Being late. Being late, a seemingly harmless habit, but it sends a clear message. My time is more important than yours. Don't fool yourself into thinking that a few minutes is no big deal. Let's face it, being late is not only annoying to others, but it also reflects a lack of respect for time. Not only theirs, but also yours. We all know what it's like to be late. Rushing to a meeting, sweating and feeling embarrassed. And guess what? It not only makes you look bad, but it makes everyone around you feel disrespected. Stoicism emphasizes the value of being punctual and disciplined, because time is the only thing you can't buy back. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You are responsible for what is happening in the present. Do not waste the time you have." Yes, time is precious. When you are late, you are wasting not only your time, but also the time of those who have been waiting for you. You may think that a few minutes does not matter, but in fact, it is a sign of a deeper problem, an unwillingness to face and be fully present in situations. Interestingly, being late is often not simply a matter of time management. Sometimes it is avoidance. Maybe you are dreading that meeting, that conversation, or even the feeling of having to face an uncomfortable situation head-on. But Stoicism teaches us that avoidance is not the answer. Avoiding discomfort only makes the problem worse. Being on time is a way to show respect and commitment to yourself and others. Every time you are on time, you are saying, "I am present, I am available, I respect my time and my value as well as yours." When you start to value every minute and every second, you will find that your life becomes more organized, and others will start to trust you more. So the next time you're about to be late, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius and remind yourself, "This time is mine, I will not waste it." Make an effort to be on time. You will be surprised at how this not only changes the way others see you, but also the way you see yourself. Being on time is a sign of commitment, responsibility, and respect, 3 core things in building a strong and trustworthy life. Number 7, playing the victim. Playing the victim sounds familiar, right? We all have those moments when we feel like the world is against us. Things are going wrong, not because of us, but because of circumstances, as if we have no control. But honestly, it's a trap. Yes, a trap that you set for yourself. When you constantly blame your circumstances, you're telling the world, "I can't do anything about my life." And guess what? You're giving up your power. Stoicism would look at this and say, that's when you need to stop. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it." Think about it. Life will always bring challenges, but playing the victim only keeps you stuck in a cycle of failure. You can't change if you think you have no control. When you give up responsibility, you give up the opportunity to grow, to become stronger, wiser, and in control of your life. Stoicism emphasizes that while we can't change everything that happens around us, we can always control how we react. You have a choice. You can stand up and face the challenge, or you can continue to sit there and play the victim. But remember, playing the victim doesn't earn empathy or respect. On the contrary, it only makes others see you as limiting yourself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Only the weak blame their circumstances. The strong take their lives into their own hands, no matter what happens." It's true. Strength doesn't come from whining or seeking pity. It comes from facing it, taking responsibility, and finding a way to overcome it. So next time you feel like playing the victim, stop and ask yourself, what can I do to change the situation? Remember, It is possible to take control of your life, but only if you stop looking for excuses and start looking for solutions. You are more powerful than you think if you stop playing the victim and start taking control of your destiny. So we have gone through a lot of negative habits, and you may have realized that some of them have become a part of your life unintentionally. Don't worry, that's normal. The important thing is that you are now aware and willing to change. Stoicism doesn't teach us to be perfect all at once, but rather encourages gradual, daily improvement. Every time you become aware of a bad habit and resolve to eliminate it, you are one step closer to becoming a better version of yourself. As Marcus Aurelius said, life doesn't happen to you, it happens to you. Every challenge, every difficulty is an opportunity for us to learn and grow. Look at these bad habits not as obstacles, but as opportunities to overcome and become stronger. Don't let them drag you down, but use them as a launching pad to reach new heights. Stoicism teaches us that change doesn't come from sitting still and blaming circumstances. It comes from action, from taking control of your own life. So right now, you can start. Don't wait. Turn your awareness into action. Let go of the habits that are holding you back and start building new, more positive ones. This is not the path of perfection, but the path of progress. And if you feel that what we've discussed has really helped you, I invite you to join us on this journey. Subscribe now so you don't miss out on any of the content about Stoicism and how it can change your life. There's more to come. Remember, every small step adds up to a big change. Your journey doesn't end here. Continue exploring the powerful principles of Stoicism by watching other related videos. Each video is part of a journey that will help you become stronger, more confident, and more in control of yourself. This is your life, and you have the power to shape it the way you want. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next videos.